So I guess I've had both my boys at the physio this morning because of whatever sporting injuries. One of them is 11, and he said all his connective tissues are really loose. And even though he's hypermobile anyway, he said he's most likely going to have a growth spurt really soon, which is he will love because he's a little guy. But I took the opportunity to go for the lever because he's eager to grow tall. And I said, what does that mean you need to do at the moment? And so I encouraged him that he's going to need to really focus on protein, to make sure he takes his supplements and get lots of sleep, because that's how he's going to get the most out of that growth period. But then when we were talking about it, it made me think, what kind of oils can support that growth phase or that stage of life, or what kind of products? And I guess the first one I think of is Mister. I don't know if you've ever used it. Have you used it, Kez?
I haven't. No.
So
Oh,
I noticed when my other son was, he was getting quite angry, which is not really his personality.
interesting.
Lots of real, and I ha, I'm not 100% sure because we weren't testing, but I put it down to probably some surges of testosterone because he was just combative, pushing his brother around, just very not actually what he's normally like. And
Mm.
so I have just put a roller top on it and encouraged him to use it. Now, to be honest, he is inconsistent with his use of it, but my understanding is that it is a bit of an adaptogenic oil for men
Is it a
or
blend?
boys. It's a blend, yeah. And so it specifically has a lot of the spruces and the firs, which is testosterone supportive. So unlike a testosterone cream or however they pill, I don't know how they do it, patch, I don't know how they administer it, but it's not addictive. It doesn't force your body to produce a huge amount of testosterone. It's not going to force surges. It just supports the body's natural processes. And so,
Greater male hormonal balance, according to
hmm,
our friend here.
so that would be, I guess,
Okay.
akin to, for us women, we've got sclerescence or lady sclareol, which is supportive of our, more estrogenic type hormones. And then other things, I guess, funny because Kerry and I in the past, she's not talking, she's reading, but in the past, neither of us were avid Ningxia drinkers.
Mm.
And then we changed, didn't we?
We did. We did.
Yeah.
Something that has come up for me in terms of boys and growth and things like that. We are relatively regular with our chirokinesiologist. We have one that we haven't seen for a while. And something that came up last visit to her was minerals. So mineral essence is back on circulation in our house too.
Is yours, I'm going to specifically not use names, but do your children take it happily?
No.
So, so how do you get it into them unhappily then?
So in a little bit of Ningxia, shot that and then have a Ningxia
Ningxia
chaser.
chaser.
Yeah, yeah.
That's how I have it because I must be like a teenager. Actually,
Well,
it's
I
not true. I
refuse to
mean,
contaminate my Ningxia, so I just put it under the tongue and then go from there. But as she mentioned, with the growing that's happening for our teens at the moment, the most amount of minerals you can get in, the better.
and just for context, can we have the age of your teens just so we,
So yeah, 13 and 15.
so 13 is the boy, 15.
But the 13-year-old boy has just taken off growing.
They do that, don't
He
they?
was my height at Christmas and now he's like this much taller.
Is he taller? I didn't know that.
Oh, properly taller.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm now the midget.
Oh, I've still got one that's smaller than me.
I'm coming to hang out with you.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
okay because now they can put everything away in the cupboards.
that's right. Exactly.
Yeah. And so I guess probably also thinking from your other area of like from an Ayurvedic practitioner, like perspective, sorry, what would you be thinking of in terms of teens and how you could support them and yeah, what you've seen, what you experienced?
Yeah, so
Actually get into them.
in terms of just practical other things that I am trying to incorporate and also encourage them to do, to put my Ayurveda hat on for just a minute, the transition from they're transitioning from like the kapha stage of life to the pitta stage of life, and to keep that relatively simple, it's sort of a more earthy stage to a more fiery stage, because if you think about puberty and moving through to the reproductive years, there's all that reproduction and cell change happening, so there's more heat, more fire.
Lots of brain stuff happening.
Yeah, brain growth and development, everything's growing and changing and evolving, and it's all beautiful, but it also can get very warm. So thinking about cooling practices for them and cooling foods and cooling activities. So things like we were talking before about coconut water.
Sounds easy. I think quite easy to get
Yeah.
into them. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, for most children, though you said one doesn't like it, so
One of
I
mine didn't like it, so but they do like coconut water and Ningxia, so I'll
yeah.
take it.
And would Ningxia be
Cooling.
considered heating or cooling?
I haven't broken it down properly yet. I think generally red is a little bit heating, but then pomegranate is cooling. So I'm going to chat to the girls and see their take on it.
Mm,
I feel like it could be tridoshic in that it's good for everybody,
balancing.
but I'll check with the superiors and the knowledgeable others, like brainstorm it. I like to put it
Yeah.
to the crew.
Yeah. Keep us posted. Yeah.
Things like barefoot on the grass or
I
barefoot.
thought you were going to say the breath, the time, but I don't like, I
I'll get
cannot
to
imagine
that
you
if
getting
you
the
can get
teens
your
to
team
do
to
that.
do it. I'm trying
Yeah.
to think about things that mine will actually do.
Yeah.
So outside barefoot on the grass, I make them, if they're angling for gaming or spending too much time on their phones or something, I'll pull it all up and send them outside to the grass for a little while. Or obviously swimming in the ocean or walking along the beach if you have that, or any body of water
Yeah.
is beneficial. And then there is the straw breath. So just you turn your tongue into a straw type shape and breathe really gently through it. And if you try it, you can feel the air going in is quite cool. Also, just breathing in and out through the left nostril is cooling too. Obviously, meditation is good, but I don't know. I don't want to pigeonhole your teens. Some are very
Some
open to
love
it,
it,
some
some
don't.
don't. Yeah.
Mm.
I think that's,
Um,
yeah.
and just watch things like super hot showers, and obviously screen time's a big one because that can make their eyes quite hot. So the other
Well,
thing,
it get very hot too.
yeah, rose water, pads over the eyes, cucumbers over the eyes, things like that, because the
What
eyes
kind of
are
foods would be cooling?
cooling. Foods are like steering a little clear of red. So if you're having red meat, obviously they need that for growing and things like that.
Oh,
But slow cooked is less heating than, say, a steak on the barbie. That said, mine love a steak on the barbie. Things like salads, cooling, cucumber, things like that, green typed. It's yeah.
but then we're not avoiding heating things, are we? It's
No,
not about like
just
eradicating it. It's
no,
just if
that's
you're
right.
noticing that they're out of balance, then you might lean
You
that way,
might
right?
steer towards the others. And I'm just thinking, yeah, things like, tomato, capsicum, the red foods, still have them, but just have a little less of them. Yeah.
Just side note, do your children eat tomatoes?
Tom loves tomato. Yeah.
Right. I For mine, it's only tomato sauce. There's no tomatoes going down there.
I do a lot of, he really loves salad. So I do a lot of like just homemade tabbouleh type, my
Oh yeah, that would
version of,
pick all the tomato out, I can tell you.
wow, that's interesting.
Yeah. But cucumbers, if I'm cutting them up, it's like they will steal it. I'll be
Yeah.
like, no, there's none left for the salad, stop it. And they're like, the moment I turn away, they're stealing it. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
I don't love cucumber myself, but everyone else around here
I
seems to
don't.
enjoy it.
Yeah.
Not
I know.
quite to the level your people enjoy it, but
Yeah.
yeah, so lighter soups are quite good too for summer. And actually, I've just purchased a summer Ayurvedic cooking module, so I'll circle back after I've
Hmm.
looked at that recording and recipes.
And then I guess probably we were talking about boys specifically. So one of the things that we're talking about is
Mhm.
that so our boys are very active. And so, given that in this age range, so it depends when they get that testosterone surge as to when they get that real growth. So, my older boy has only just sort of really, actually, it'll be the same for both of them, but he's really starting to get the growth now. Whereas some of the boys at rowing at 15 they already look like men. They're enormous.
Mm.
It's like, what the heck? Whereas he's much leaner. He's gotten the height, but you can just see that he's going to get way high, like way taller, and he's going to fill out, which is exactly the same pattern as my brother. And then my younger boy is probably going to be shorter than the others. He's just not as tall. He's sort of probably more my size of the family, but he plays basketball. He's very sporty. He does basketball, golf, still does swimming. A few bits and pieces. Was doing skateboarding. he wants to start jiu-jitsu. Like we keep him busy because he's otherwise he's on a computer. But his tendon is a bit sore, and the physio said that all of his connective tissue, did I say this before, is really loose because he's about to grow. I did say that because I was talking about the height thing. But it's like, how can we support him continuing to move but stay healthy? And the physio is talking about a lot of the rowers have back fractures, and that can put them out for like 15 months, right? So just thinking, how can we support them from, if they love a particular sport, to maybe spreading it out and not doing just one sport all of the time, but making sure they are doing a cross section. That's not the right word, but a variety of different sports. Now, I've been keen for our school to have an all year round rowing program. Maybe I'm wrong, because maybe at that age they shouldn't be doing that, and they shouldn't be doing, and so maybe it's good that he has to do soccer in winter. I know he would love to do rowing in winter, but
Mm.
yeah, it bears considering of like, is it good for them at that age to be doing the same thing all of the time? And I'm noticing that my thoughts are, if he wants to be really good at it, he's going to have to do it all year round. So just monitoring our own thoughts as to what is appropriate for an adult is different for a child. And that's really, yeah, just encouraging people to think about that. And I hadn't thought about it till the physio spoke about it today. And
Yeah,
I,
and it's funny because we've been talking about winter rowing too, so that's
yeah.
just given me another perspective.
And it
Anyway,
doesn't mean not to do it, but
no, that's right.
maybe
Just
it's,
means
yeah,
balance, it's all about balance, isn't it? And
yeah,
I think off the back of, niggles and sore bits and things like that, we're pretty blessed with our Young Living stash to have things to support them when those sort of issues come up as well. Like, Panaway is on high rotation, Copaiba, I tend to circulate those two.
Now, do you use Panaway undiluted on yours?
One I can, the other one no.
Okay, so I can on all of mine now, as in undiluted. And interestingly, Arlo did not hurt himself doing sport. He jumped off the cliff at Camp Cove the other day backwards and hurt his back and neck, and he couldn't turn his neck from side to side. I
Oops.
put Panaway on him, and he was like, well, not like in tears, but when they're a little bit panicky, he's like, I can't move my neck, I can't move my neck. 10 minutes later, he goes, oh my God, it's so good.
Mm. Okay.
It
There's
just
something.
reminds you of how good it
Yeah.
is, you know? Yeah.
The other one I hadn't used a lot of, but is Cool Azul.
The gel thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you need such a small amount of that. I was like, whoa, this is good.
Yeah. It is good because I know, people have commented about the price of, because I liken it to Denk Rub when people don't understand what it does, but you don't need like a 20-cent piece. It's like less than
No,
a 5-cent piece. It's more like an aloe vera gel, and that it's very,
quite
uh,
liquid.
yeah, it's quite liquid. So, and it
And
goes in very quickly. So
yeah,
it spreads over a large area. It's not like a cream that you're having to rub in and kind of get stuck. Not sure how to
yeah.
explain that, but
No, that's right. And the other thing actually I've been enjoying using because mine are fiends for a massage is the OrthoEase V6 pump.
is that in stock? It's often out of stock,
Oh,
actually.
is it? I don't know. I've got a couple in
Yeah.
the back of the cupboard just because I like them. But
Yeah.
yeah, we use that a lot too.
And actually, maybe that's something we can just even cover in this general chit chat, is that there was talk for a while that people don't like V6 because it has,
Mm.
I think it's sunflower seed, or it's got a seed oil in it.
Seed oil, yeah.
But I think what we should know is that the molecules are too big to go into the skin anyway, and it's not causing the inflammatory response that it does if you consume a seed oil orally. Now, there will still be some people who will just go, I'm not touching that. My nephew is one of them. But I'm quite comfortable using that on my skin, and I really don't feel any concern. And there is some evidence that, that we really need a balance of omega 6s, and the texture of those oils. I think it's a little bit, for me, I liken it a little bit to eating fish. It's very hard to get clean fish these days. There are benefits to eating fish, even if it is farmed or contaminated, although we don't want to eat too much of it, than there is to not have it at all. And so it's that little bit of like, we just make sure that we're doing all the detox things. But with the topical use of those V6 oils, they're cold pressed, they're not heat expeller pressed. They are cold pressed oils, and just try them. The nourishment from them, yeah,
Mm.
they do. I love those. I particularly love cellulite oil, which is not about cellulite, it's about movement and flow. Just think about it that way.
Lymphatic support.
Yeah.
Mm.
What other things are good for young people? So I guess probably we should mention females at that age then. So I would steer clear of, unless you have had testing, I wouldn't be using testosterone supporting like a Mista or a Idaho Grand Fur on a female. I would be looking at using something like sclerescence or lady sclareol, where not even clary sage. I mean, you could, But I think that using a blend is a more, unless it is has been tested, I would be using a blend which is more adaptogenic and just supporting their body rather than pushing them down a particular pathway. It would be, sorry, is that my thing? Anyway, it would be highly unlikely that they would get a negative response from using one of these estrogen supporting oils. But if they are menstruating, you could just do the estrogen supporting oil the first 2 weeks and then do the phytoprogestins plus the last 2 weeks. And then you're following the natural rhythm of the body in terms of supporting, like you've got more estrogen at the beginning, those levels rise, and then you've got more progesterone towards the end of the month. Have
Yep.
you
And
used any of that with your
no,
little one? No?
really, not really yet. The other thing is just educating them on their cycle as well.
What's normal, what's not?
Yeah. Yep. I think I know a lot of the girls are pretty savvy these days and have app trackers and things like that, but
On that, I totally agree. I've used one for eons, but if it's attached to your phone, you are selling your data.
yes.
So it would be better if, I mean, it's very hard to protect your data these days, but de-identifying things as best as possible or paying for it so that you can turn off the selling of your data. I mean, it's tricky. I mean, I use my phone for business and but I always lie. Like for instance, I always lie about my date of birth. So Apple's got a different date of birth. You know, other things have a different date of birth. I never tell them my date of birth because that's the massive identifier, your name and date of birth. And so I just always, it's always a bit different. Trying to keep them straight is hard,
I was going
but
to
I
say, so do you have a roster of which one is which?
kind of. I mean, I use particular ones, but it's just, it's just trying to keep it a little bit confusing for them. Like, why am I giving them all that information? And obviously, our children are on devices much younger than we were, and
Mm,
so just teaching them too that whilst it's very convenient, there's a payoff for the convenience.
yep.
So anyway, so that's. I don't know. Can
Yeah.
we think of anything else? We briefly mentioned Ningxia because both of us used to be and now we both love it. So maybe we should talk about Ningxia for young people.
Yep.
I like it especially for my younger one because he doesn't like vegetables that much. And I at least know that he has Ningxia every day. He just goes and helps himself out of the fridge. And I at least know that he's getting all of those antioxidants. So that makes me feel happy about it. The other two are less likely to go for it. My daughter will have it. She's nearly 21, but she'll have it when she's doing rowing or if she's traveling anywhere, she'll take it with her, but she doesn't really have it all the time at home. But she eats really well. And so I guess at this age, I feel like it's just more of a buffer or sort of support to whatever else they're doing. But I'm really happy my younger one is having it, as I said, because he just, seems like the playground at school is mostly white bread and stealing each other's junk food. So I'm
Mm,
happy he's at least getting that in.
yep. Yeah, I'm a bit the same. I don't force it on them. They sort of find their own rhythm with it now. So sometimes I think one takes a sachet every day and will have it when they want it and not have it other times. There's always a bottle in the fridge and they're often into that most mornings. And then sometimes there'll be a week where they don't have it. So, but like you, I think it's just good to know that they're getting some antioxidant goodness into them.
Nice.
Yeah. And I always bring it for when I do, sport pickup or whatever, I'll have it off the back seat. So if them or friends are getting in the car, then everyone can just hook in.
And actually, I'm interested because I know that you prefer it at room temperature or warm rather than cold. Do they have it cold or warm?
Room temperature, that
Right.
is, those ones. Having said that, through summer, it's not uncommon for me to suck on a frozen one. I
Mm-hmm.
really love that on a hot summer day.
Yeah.
But personally, yeah, that's right. I'll have it with warm water a lot of the time. Or I like it room temperature is my favorite, but if I've got a bottle in the fridge, I'll add a bit of warm water to it because usually.
I remember, I think we spoke about this last year that I'd heard someone on American thing talking about having it hot. And I don't think you'd tried it hot at that stage either. You
No,
had it
I
room temperature,
haven't
but
thought
I
of it.
actually love it mixing
Yeah,
it with hot water. It's actually
yeah,
delicious. It
it's
really
good.
changes the flavor. It makes it, it's,
Deeper,
yeah. I
I
was going to
feel
say
like.
wider, actually. It just, anyway. So if you haven't tried it hot, add some hot water, about half I do, and it's really different.
Yeah,
Yeah. Anyway.
yeah. I was worried I'd kill off anything if I had it too hot as well. So I'm like, well, I'll just go warm. Like kill off
I
a
think you have to boil it to kill anything off. I mean, if you're adding
probably, yeah.
hot water, we use a zip tap, so it's not boiling anyway. A
Mm.
bit like tea, you're not supposed to have boiling water with tea. It's supposed to be just under boiling.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Anyway,
So there you
anything
go.
else you want to add, or that's it?
The other thing I just came to mind because one of mine had an Epsom salt bath yesterday
Oh,
is
yes.
you can add oils to that too. Often I'll drop in some lavender or stress away or frankincense in the bath with the, or I stick the empty oil bottles in the Epsom salt container
Yes.
so they
Yeah.
just all take on whatever that is as well. So could be any concoction of
And
this.
this just because it's funny. How often do you have a bath?
Yeah, I haven't had one. I don't remember the last
I
bath.
know my kids are having a bath all the time, and my husband.
Yeah.
And I'm making them the Epsom salts. I've got the big container with everything in it, and like I'm never in there.
Yes.
And when I do want one, someone else is in there. I'm like, I
No,
bags the
stop.
bath, and then my little one might get in with me, and I'm like,
No, this
no,
is not
you're
related.
past that at 11. I want my own bath. Anyway, have your own Epsom salt bath, and then let
Yes.
them in.
Yes.
Yeah. Alrighty. Good. That's finished. 12:39.
Beautiful. Good
Yeah.
call.
That's good. Always put that on YouTube. It'll be good.
Yep.
I think that's a good one. Oh, just cracked my shoulder.
Awesome.
It's as easy as that.
It is as easy as that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the thing I always find a thing around is how do we share it best, but the YouTube will do, won't it?
The great thing about YouTube is it's free